Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and the son of Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther King III, has spoken out on the tragedy, the death of Charlie Kirk. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. I know you guys can tell that I haven't been the same, obviously, this week. It's hard to say the death of Charlie Kirk or refer to Charlie in the past tense. It's so hard. And I talk to colleagues that, every day we come into work, we got a job to do. You people out there are looking for news and they're looking for information and they're looking for our opinions, and we have to be present. But it's hard because we're hurt. That being said, let me get to this story. And I'm sorry, sometimes I'm just going to talk. I apologize for that if that bothers anybody. Martin Luther King Jr.'s son, Martin Luther King III, has finally spoken out. Not finally, he's spoken out about the death of Charlie Kirk. And listen, here's a family that was deeply affected by political violence. This is a family who absolutely knows the horror of political violence. And he had profound words. He obviously expressed his condolences to the family and said he would keep them in prayer, but he talked about how our country's in a place right now that's really dangerous, a place we haven't seen since the 60s, a place where too many people, there's a large, it's a minority, but it's almost even with people who don't, in this generation, the current generation, who think political violence is okay in certain situations. That's terrifying. Now we have, in my opinion, a generation of kids that never knew anything but get a trophy and get a pat on the back, and that's part of the problem. They don't know how to debate. They know how to fling all their toys out of the playpen and have a tantrum. And that's on the fault of society as a whole. We haven't taught them. We coddled them. And now they think the world should coddle them. Martin Luther King III he's a leftist, he's a Democrat, but he had some very profound words here that I want you to hear. And I want you to let me know what you think in the comments.
You have direct personal experience with what has happened. What can you tell me is your reaction to what's happened?
Well, my first reaction from my wife and I is to extend our condolences to the Kirk family, to Charlie Kirk's wife and two young children. As you stated, I personally understand because I was so young when my father was killed. We as a nation have to always reject rhetoric and violence. Violence is never the answer. We as a nation must grow past what is going on. It's number one, it's not sustainable. I mean, my dad and mom taught us how to disagree without being disagreeable. And we must find a way to teach that to everyone.
I thought one of the most important reactions from a leader in America was from George W. Bush, who essentially wrote, "Members of other political parties are not our enemies. They are our fellow citizens." He says, "May God bless Charlie Kirk and his family, and may God guide America towards civility." Can America be guided to civility, and much of the world as well?
The real question is, we have the ability, but do we have the will? How do you dig deep into the will to actually, number one, treat people with civility, whether you agree or disagree? There are many positions I disagree with, but that does not mean that we should go a further step and to try to silence someone. That is insane. And we keep doing the same thing over and over again. I remember in 1968, when my father was killed, 100 cities across America were actually where rioting occurred. The one city, major city that it didn't was in Indianapolis. And why? Because Robert Kennedy made a profound statement to encourage the community to think about how they respond to this tragedy of Dad being killed. And that city did not go up in flames. So my point is, leadership on all sides must exhibit a different kind of tone than the rhetoric that we continue to embrace. My dad would say, and I still believe this. Nonviolence, we must learn nonviolence or we may face non-existence.